constructed as a rectangular channel with a bottom width of 12 feet lined with riprap. N equals 0.025. The slope of the channel is 0.005 feet per foot. Compute a chart that shows the relationship between the reservoir elevation and the discharge into the channel. So what that means is we want to do for different Qs what is going to be the elevation and the reservoir. So what I'm going to do is take this HC and I'm going to create a third tab here. Move this tab over here and I'll call it chart. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a column for Q, a column for DC, the critical depth, a column for DN, the normal depth, a column for DE, depth at the entrance, and a column for DR, depth of the reservoir. What we actually want, like it says, a chart that shows the relationship between reservoir elevation, that's the DR, and the discharge into the channel, that's Q. So what we're going to do is we're going to make, for the assignments, I need you to do this for at least 4 different flows. Okay? I'm going to do this with 2 so that you can see what's going on. Let's say I will start with 50, Q equals 50. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the DC tab, okay? And I will put in the given information, bottom width 12, side slopes because it's rectangular, 0 to 1. The slope of the channel, 0.005. The N roughness, 0.025, right? So I'm going to put in a Q of 50 here, and I'm going to calculate the critical depth. I'll go data, what if analysis, goal seek, set this to G squared over G, 77.6398 by changing the depth. And the critical depth for this is 0.81. So now I'm going to come to the chart, and for critical depth, I will fill that in, 0.81. Now I'm going to come to this. Let me widen this out just a little bit so you can see. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, and I'll clear all this out because you don't really need it. In fact, I'll just clear it out so you can see what this is here. This is the formula that we had in the presentation for depth of the reservoir, right? So, but first I'm going to do calculations over here on the left-hand side before this last column here to calculate the normal depth. So I'm going to make sure everything here is the given. I'm starting with 50, right? Everything else is the givens here, right? Zoom in a little bit so you can see that. Okay. And I'm going to use what if analysis, goal seek, set the Q to the Q that we want, 50, by changing the depth. So the current normal depth is 1.06. So I'm going to come here to the chart and type in 1.06. Now, we ask ourselves the question that we posed here. Are we supercritical or subcritical? Little interaction. What are we, super or sub? Type it in the chat if your mic's not on. Oh, where are you here?
You are now
Not
unmuted.
until I get a few answers to this. Super or sub?
It's subcritical.
Depth, here's the normal depth. Let's check with a few more people.
You are now muted.
I won't say if you're right or wrong yet, but you said sub. Got another sub.